Yes, the Kitchen Fairy here, and today I'd like to share you a recipe and also my journey in sourdough baking with sourdough starter. And today it will be my first time ever making sourdough bread. I posted a video of my journey making sourdough starter the other day, and video today will be the first trial of making the sourdough bread. It is a fun journey, trials or tries or experience in the kitchen with sourdough starter, because I just learned that apparently it takes hours and hours and overnight for making a loaf of sourdough bread. So it's time consuming, but the end result is really awesome. Check out the full video and I'll see you soon again. Bye. So last night I made this Levain. I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe it's Levain. It was with 1 tablespoon of sourdough starter, which then I fed or added 100 gram of flour and 100 gram of water, and I cover it and let it stand on the counter overnight. And now we're gonna make the sourdough bread. So what I have here is 700 gram water and 1,000 gram, which is 1 kilogram bread flour. We're just gonna add everything, mix everything. One thing I realized, I know that in baking it's better to use scale, but apparently when it comes to sourdough bread or sourdough baking, everything is with scale. Now I think I'm gonna have to turn it off for a bit because I'm using only my hands. Now we're just gonna mix everything, and then we're gonna leave it for an hour to double in size. It's gonna be a sticky mess. So from the quite a few of websites I read, and also watching some videos on YouTube, we also purchased a book for making this sourdough bread. In the beginning, when it's the first step is that adding the levain and the bread and some water, right? You don't need to knead it with your hand, just use your wooden spoon. And then we're gonna cover this and let it rest for an hour before we start kneading. That it's been resting for an hour, we're gonna add about 20 gram of salt, and 50 gram of water. For this one you want to knead so that it will incorporate it nicely. It's gonna be sticky still, but it's okay. You want to kind of pinch in here and pinch in there, pinch there and pinch here, because you want to incorporate the salt into the dough. Now that the salt is incorporated into the previous dough, we're gonna cover it again with cling wrap, and then we're gonna let it rest for another 1 hour. Now that it's been resting for half hour, we're gonna knead it again. From side to side, and you're gonna do this like 3 times at least, like folding, I mean, for 3 times. So just bring the left side to the center, right side to the center, top side to the center, bottom side to the center. So it's 3 times, and then we're gonna cover it again and then do it in another half hour again. Now it's half hour done. This will be our third time of folding the dough here and there. Each time you want to bring left to center, right to center, top to center, bottom to center. Do this 3 times and then rest it for half hour, and then we're gonna do the last one again. So in total it's like 4 times you doing this and 3 sets. So this is gonna be our, it's been rested for another 30 minutes, so it's gonna be our last folding. Just do this 3 times, and then we're gonna rest it for 4 to 5 hours. One thing I realized with this all sourdough business, holy moly, it takes hours and hours to make. Don't you miss bakery? No one can go outside because of coronavirus. Anyways, do that 3 times, wrap it, and let it rest for 4 to 5 hours. Now that the dough has rested for 4 hours, you can rest it for 4 to 5 hours as long as it doubled in size, and it's already doubled in size. It was for 4 hours, so we're gonna divide the dough. So you're gonna make 2 loaves in the end. Wish you can smell it. It smells beautiful. So we're gonna just dump it. It's clean. You don't have to put flour on the surface for now. It's beautiful. Making sourdough bread is a lot of work. It's crazy to think, a lot of hours and a lot of work. Anyways, we're gonna divide or halve it, because I know I'm supposed to use bench scraper, but I don't have, and I'm blaming it on the coronavirus that I cannot go out and buy. Now what you want to do is just, you are supposed to use bench scraper, you know, like to get these and shape it to tight round, which then you're gonna cover it with clean towel and rest it for 20 minutes before you work on it more. So if you have bench scraper, it will be nice and easy, because you need to lift it and round it. This sticky mess. For now, we're just gonna do this until I can go out and get bench scraper and we will bake a proper bread, sourdough bread. All right, now we just have to cover with clean towel, which I already prepared here, and we're gonna leave it for 20 minutes. I'll see you soon. So while the dough is resting, you want to prepare your bowl, line with a tea towel, clean tea towel, and flour it. And you should prepare 2 bowls because you will be making 2 bread, right? Now that it's been 20 minutes, you're gonna flour the top. And then again, this should be done with bench scraper, which I don't have. This is my first try of making sourdough. So what you want is you flip this one over, which absolutely easier if you have bench scraper. And then you want to knead it again. From right to center, left to center, from top to center, and bottom to center. Then you want to make it a nice round. Center and bottom to center, and make it nice. Ooh, I make what is that called? Bubbles there. You sort of just want to pull it to you, I believe, so that you can make a nice round. Again, a little bit of flour in my hand. Kind of sticky. And then get your bowl ready. Like so, and then put it in your bowl. And you want to do the same with your other dough. Again with bench scraper. You want to flip it. Knead it again. Everything to center. And sort of pull it towards you, that you make a nice round, and then you're gonna put it your bowl. Now that they're on the bowl, you just want to give a little flour on the top and let them rest for half hour before you put them in the fridge. So this is one of the dough that has been chilled overnight. I can see that it's doubled in size. So we're gonna invert this. I hope I'm not gonna mess it up. Ooh, that's nice. So that's why the flour not gonna stick too much. Just pinched it. Now we're gonna slide it to the Dutch oven. You know, I had to buy my Dutch oven from Amazon. I have a razor here. The book said you can use sharp knife, but I have my husband's razor collection because he shaved his beard, so I'm just gonna use razor. I'm just gonna give a slice because, you know, my first sourdough, I haven't tried anything yet. I know people make beautiful incision on the top, but yeah, again, it's my first sourdough. So yeah, as I was trying to say, I'm heating the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment, and I'm gonna bake it. So I'll see you soon. I hope it's gonna work. I mean, it seems working, but I hope the end result, when I slice it, it's totally look like grocery store sourdough bread. I hope. Crossing fingers. I'll see you soon. Bye. So it's still hot. I just took it out of the oven. I'm gonna set aside, let it cool down a bit before I slice it to see the inside. This is from the second loaf. I slice it differently. Can you hear that? I know my son's video is a bit too loud, his TV, but it's hollow when it's tapped. It's still too hot to slice, so I'm gonna wait for a bit. So this is the inside of the sourdough bread. My first try, and I love the texture. This was the first one that I baked, the first loaf, and then the second loaf I baked a bit later on. This is a bit lighter than the second one. I added more minutes in baking this. My husband liked the texture of this one better, fluffier compared to this one, he said.